If you're a business owner thinking about starting a podcast, or you already have one, there's a good chance you're using it completely wrong. You're treating it like a creative side project, worrying about downloads, views, guests, monetization, and then wondering why it's not doing anything for your business. Most podcasts, they're just hobbies with microphones. Meanwhile, there are business owners using podcasts in a completely different way, and they're getting inbound calls from people who already trust them before the first conversation even happens. So if your podcast isn't doing that, you built it for the wrong purpose from the start. This is basically every conversation I have right now, and it starts something like this. Yeah, I've been thinking about starting a podcast. And within 30 seconds, I can tell you exactly how they're thinking about it. If they start talking about guests, downloads, monetization, growing an audience, I already know what's coming next. 6 months later, they tell me one of two things. Their podcast either lasted 3 to 5 weeks and they completely gave up, or they actually made it 6 months and they say, yeah, it's been cool, people like it, but it hasn't really done anything for my business yet. Yeah, because it was never built to. You built something to talk, not to convert. What most people actually want is pretty simple. More inbound leads, better conversations, and prospects showing up already trusting them. This is where a solo video podcast comes in. It positions you as the undeniable choice in your industry. You're not trying to entertain people. You're building authority on repeat. Every episode reinforces how you think, how you approach problems, and what you believe is a waste of time. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Because here's the truth. You don't need 10,000 listeners. You need 10 people who actually hire you. And most people are out here chasing strangers instead of getting clear with the right ones. Quick side note, because this always comes up. People will say to me, why video podcasting specifically? Because it's leverage. You can repurpose one podcast episode into several other pieces of content that you're probably not even thinking about right now. Shorts for social media, written blogs for your website, carousels on LinkedIn, email newsletters, sales assets, infographics, and the list goes on and on. More importantly, people discover you in short clips, but they trust you from long form. That combination is where this actually works. You can't build an entire marketing strategy around short form clips on social media, but you can do that from a long form podcast. And just because I'm using the words long form podcast doesn't mean your episodes need to be 30 to 60 minutes long. They can be as short as 5 to 10 minutes, and you can still repurpose that content into everything I mentioned earlier, as long as the episodes are planned properly ahead of time with the right end goal in mind. Okay, so now that I have your attention, the next question that I usually get is, okay, how long until this actually works? And I get it, because nobody wants to commit to something that drags on forever. From what I've seen, in the first 30 to 60 days, you start noticing little things. More engagement, maybe a random DM on social media like, yo, I've been seeing your stuff lately. Nothing crazy yet, but you can start to feel it moving. Now 90 to 120 days, that's when it starts to click. Calls feel totally different. Prospects recognize you. They feel like they already know you. They might even reference specific things you said in an episode. Then they hit you with the, okay, so how much time do I have to commit to doing this podcast? And they're always expecting it to be a lot. It's really not. A few hours a month recording, that's it. You're already overthinking it more than the actual work requires. And then it turns into, how do we even know this is worth it? Because clients always want clean, perfect attribution. But we all know that's not usually how anything works. What we do is track signals, DMs, calls, and deals influenced. And here's the part people don't like hearing. You don't need as much volume as you think you do. You just need the right hit. 1 to 2 clients from this can cover everything. But people are so conditioned to think in leads, they miss the fact that this is about leverage. Then you get hit with this. Can't we just do this ourselves? Yeah, technically. You can also cut your own hair. Let me know how that goes. Most people don't fail because they can't record. They fail because they don't stay consistent and burn out after a few months of trying to do everything themselves. So it just turns into random episodes with no direction and no connection to anything that makes money. And then they blame the podcast. So how does it turn into real business? This is the part that changes everything, and you don't really get it until you feel it. You don't need a massive audience. You need the right people paying attention. I've had calls where someone gets on and says, "Yeah, I've been watching your stuff for a while now." That call is already halfway done. You're not explaining what you do, you're not proving yourself, you're confirming what they already believe. That's a completely different position to be in because most people, every call is a first impression. Every call is convincing. Every call is starting from zero. That's exhausting. A podcast removes all of that. It does all the heavy lifting for you before you ever say a single word on a call. So if you have a podcast right now or you're thinking about starting one, stop thinking about it like a creative side project and start asking yourself this. If someone listens to a few episodes of my podcast, do they actually understand what I do and why it matters? If the answer is no, that's what you need to fix. Because when that part locks in, you don't feel like you're chasing people anymore. You start having conversations with people who already get it, and that's where everything changes. If you want help tightening that up, send me a DM on Instagram at Bill Corcoran Jr. or drop me a line at billcorcoranjr.com. Appreciate you spending the time with me today. This show is built to give you what you actually need, not just what I think. So if there's a topic or question you want me to cover, let me know here in the comments or hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn at Bill Corcoran Jr. If it's strong, I might turn it into a full episode. And if you want to dig deeper, you can find more content at billcorcoranjr.com.